Hey guys, I'm Jason Green, and I recently saw The Revenant. What does The Revenant mean, or the word Revenant, what does that even mean? A Revenant is a person who has returned, especially, supposedly, from the dead. And I'll tell you what, that is exactly what happens in this movie, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hardy. But what did I think of the movie? Well, it was really beautiful. Beautiful looking, I mean. Like, the scenery and the cinematography and the lighting was gorgeous. Did you guys know? I mean, maybe some movie buffs will appreciate this, but this movie was all natural light. Like, no studio lighting or any extra outside, lights were aided in this movie at all. What I heard was Alejandro Inarritu, the director, and company could only film this movie at 90-minute portions of the day to, at the exact time that they want to have the exact natural light from the sun and campfires that they could get. And that is amazing. This movie is a visual marvel. The sound is great too. I mean, the pitter-pattering of the stream of the water, and not to mention the rushing rapids of some of the rivers, and the sounds of the branches breaking under the hooves of animals, Leo's breathing, the bows and arrows that are streaming across the screen, the noise, when it hits someone in the head. All of that is amazing. It's amazing to look at, amazing to listen to. But the movie on a story level isn't it's just okay. Basically, Leonardo DiCaprio plays Hugh Glass, who is a frontiersman who goes out and gets animal pelts and sells them for money. And he's with a crew of people. One person is Tom Hardy, who's part of that crew. Who, by the way, Tom Hardy is a fantastic actor. He deserves all the awards he gets for this role. He was the best part of the movie. But I'll get into that in a minute. Not to mention Domhnall Gleeson, I think his name is, Domhnall Gleeson. He played General Hux in the most recent Star Wars movie, and he was the main character of Ex Machina, which was a great movie, by the way. He is the captain of this frontier group, and he's really good in the movie as well. But Tom Hardy shines. He is the reason you should see this movie, along with the beautiful audio and visual effects. But as I was saying, the story is it's just okay. Like, I don't want to spoil too much, but you do see in the trailer that Leo is out for revenge because Tom Hardy kills his son, which happens about halfway through the movie. And not to mention, Leonardo DiCaprio gets brutally mauled by a bear as he's out in the wilderness. That bear scene is definitely the most intense part of the whole film. I mean, it is just brutal, and you hear his skin ripping and his bones breaking, and it's just, I am honestly surprised he lived. I mean, apparently this Hugh Glass guy, who Leo is actually based off of this guy, this was a real frontiersman from the 1830s, I think, who actually got mauled by a bear, and he lived. I mean, the "and he lived" part is more to legend than who knows if that is actually real. The man was real, and he really got mauled by a bear. I personally don't think he lived. I mean, I don't know anyone personally who has lived through a bear mauling. I mean, you hear all over on the news that people get killed by bears out in the wilderness. I would not be surprised if this Hugh Glass gentleman, who is definitely now deceased, was deceased because of that bear. Anyway, I digress. The story of The Revenant was just okay. I mean, it's about 2 hours and 30 minutes, maybe 2 hours and 45 minutes with the previews and everything, so rounding out to 3 hours, maybe if you have a long amount of previews and such, you'll be sitting in that theater for 3 hours, and there are just parts where it just drags and drags and drags. I mean, Leo gets mauled by the bear, he crawls out, and then it's just an hour or so of just him crawling and just surviving, and then it gets to a point where it's just okay, we get it, you're going after Tom Hardy, so just get to him. Basically, the beginning of the movie is great, the ending of the movie is great, everything in the middle is just okay. Now, I know that sounds very shallow of me, but the movie feels shallow. It is all style and no substance, and I'm sorry, but I do not think Leonardo DiCaprio deserves an Oscar for this. I personally don't think he's that great of an actor. Whenever I watch him in a film, I don't see a character. I just see Leo putting on a funny accent, or Leo yelling a lot. He has no range. All he does is yell and grunt, and that is exactly what he does in The Revenant. Tom Hardy, on the other hand, is an amazing actor. He sucks you into the role. He makes you feel. I mean, his character in The Revenant is a very hardened and so where I'm looking for, gloomy and pessimistic frontiersman, because he's had a shitty life. His character in The Revenant has had a horrible life, or just making money off of these pelts is all he does to live. And it's not even a life, as he calls it. It's just living, as he says. But Hardy really makes you feel the struggle that this guy has gone through his whole shitty-ass life. Hardy is a fantastic actor. Leo, in my opinion, and anybody out there can disagree as much as they want. If you love Leonardo DiCaprio, more power to you, and I'm happy for you. But to me, Leonardo DiCaprio is a serviceable actor. He gets the job done. He's good at his job, but he doesn't suck me into the character. I don't see him as a character in a movie. I see him as just Leonardo DiCaprio playing a part. And that is how I felt about him in The Revenant. All he did was put on like a really hokey frontiersman accent, which like, this is how frontiersmen are supposed to talk, I guess, type accent. And he just grunted the whole time. So if you're going to see The Revenant, which I know this review's a little late because it took me a long time to see it. I've been really busy. I'm sure by the time you watch this, it'll still be in theaters, probably for another few more weeks. I don't see why not. It's pretty popular. But if you're going to see The Revenant, see it for the beautiful visuals and the beautiful audio and Tom Hardy's great performance and the really cool scene where Leo gets his ass kicked by a bear. But just, you know, if you really want to see it, I kind of say just wait till it's on Blu-ray, because it really is a movie that is all style and no substance. Like, I left the theater just kind of hollow and just mainly bored, really. But there are some great action scenes, like when the Native Americans attack. Tom Hardy's performance is great, and it is a real treat for the eyes. So, if you want to see The Revenant, see it in the comfort of your own home. Hey guys, once again, thanks again for watching. I know this review's late, but I've just been busy as hell. If you want to know more about me, you can follow me on Twitter at jgreen89, J-A-Y-G-R-E-E-N, like the color, 89. I usually post when I'm working, because there are some lulls in my job where I just go on Twitter and I, read what celebrities write, and then I kind of tweet at them. So you can see me do that if you want, or you can listen to my podcast, which is Blah Blah Podcast. You can follow the podcast on Twitter, which is Blah Blah Pod 1, B-L-A-H, and then the number 1, where I post, we post an episode every Wednesday. It's me and my buddies. We just bullshit about the latest in entertainment news. And, it's just a lot of fun. And I personally think we're really funny, but just check us out. I don't think you will regret it. I hope not. And I am seeing Deadpool this weekend, the best Valentine's Day movie ever. So expect a review for that next week. See you next time.